Staying with India, the country is bracing for a big change, a change that could upend India's automotive sector. From April 1st, you will only get E20 petrol at Indian fuel stations. I'm sure you've heard about this. E20 is basically a blended fuel. It is 20% ethanol and 80% petrol. From the 1st of April, oil companies will sell only this blended fuel at pumps. And naturally, there are questions. Why is this being done? How will vehicles be affected? And what choice do people have? Ethanol is a renewable fuel that is made from plant materials. It can be processed from things like maize and sugar. But why add it to petrol? Well, the government has given two reasons for this. One, it saves money. India is one of the largest petroleum importers in the world. It's a big strain on our foreign reserves and deficit. But if you add ethanol, you save money because you don't have to import as much petroleum. Since 2014, India has saved $15.5 billion by blending ethanol. We were at 1.5% blending in 2014. We reached 10% blending in 2022. The next target is 20% by April this year, 20% blending. So cost cutting is the first reason. The second reason is emissions. Ethanol produces 40% less greenhouse gases than petrol. Since 2014, this has helped India cut 70 million tons in carbon dioxide emissions. So those two are the main reasons, to cut cost and to reduce pollution. That's why we are blending ethanol. Now we come to the next question. What happens to our vehicles? Well, that depends on how old your vehicle is. Most vehicles produced after 2023 are suited for E20 fuel. Basically, cars and bikes that are up to 3 years old are made for such fuel. They can handle it. But what about the remaining? Well, those vehicles will experience a drop in mileage, a 3 to 7% drop. Plus, your engine components may get damaged. So we are talking about a massive problem here. In India, petrol vehicles have an official lifespan of 15 years. So let's take 2011 as the starting point. Now, the government mandated E20 compliant vehicles only in 2023. So let's take 2023 as the end point, 2011 to 2023. In this period, more than 250 million vehicles were sold. Out of these, 234 million were petrol vehicles. Meaning, none of these is equipped to run on E20 fuel. I'll repeat that. 234 million vehicles in India could be at risk. Does the government have any plans for them? Well, the new mandate is also talks about something called RON, or Research Octane Number. The government says the E20 fuel must have 95 RON. I'll explain what that means. Your engine's job is to create energy by burning fuel. That's what your car engine does. In this case, the fuel is petrol. So if the fuel burns evenly, the engine runs fine. But if the fuel burns unevenly, then there could be engine damage. And that's where the RON comes in. Higher RON equals even fuel burn. And that equals less chances of engine damage. That's what the government is hoping for. But this whole E20 mandate raises four important questions. Number one, if the government is saving money on fuel imports, will customers like you and I get the benefit? Surely some of the gains must be transferred to the people. That's the first question. Question number two, why not mandate E20 compliance earlier? If the target was always 20%, then why wait till 2023? Why not inform the customers and manufacturers in advance? Question number three, why not give options? Right now, the government is mandating E20, meaning you will only get blended petrol at pumps. Even if you want to pay more, you will not get pure petrol. Is that fair? And finally, question number four, who pays for the damages? And that's a very important question. Multiple insurers have made their position very clear. If you put E20 in a non-E20 compliant vehicle, if you put E20 fuel in an older vehicle which is not compliant, you are alone. Insurers will not pay for the damages, and the government certainly will not pay. There are no clear answers to these questions yet. Last year, customers approached the Supreme Court to stop this E20 move, but the court refused to intervene. And just to be clear here, this is not an argument against E20. Markets like Brazil, the United States and Europe are all already using it, It's the logical step to save costs and to reduce emissions. We must adopt it too. The question is, could the rollout have been better?
The Narayan-Hiti Palace was lit for dinner. The royal family gathered. Laughter echoed through marble halls. But soon, it all changed. Gunshots rang out, one after another. A night that would shatter a kingdom. In hours, the royals were assassinated. Not in a war or a coup, but in a massacre inside the palace walls. Catch the full story on The Assassination, Saturday at these times.